Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, this is the Daily Deucey podcast for today, Friday, Pizza Day, March 19th. Good energy in the house, got some good stories. We're going to get right in it because it's cold and windy outside and I don't have anything else to say about that. So, for our first story for the day, New York City strip clubs sue New York State over COVID shutdown. A group of New York City strip clubs are suing New York State, saying it's not fair that they're being kept closed when everything from axe-throwing venues to bars with live music and casinos can open up. From ABC News and Larry Neumeister. That's a sweet name. A group of New York City exotic dancing clubs sued New York State Thursday, saying it's not fair that they're being kept closed when everything from axe-throwing venues to bars with live music and casinos can open up. The lawsuit filed in Manhattan federal court claimed that thousands of employees are forced to work out of state by the ban. Okay. At first, and in reality, this is probably, realistically, all the strippers just went and moved to states that they can actually strip on, with, I don't know, whatever. The lawsuit filed Monday claims the employees are forced out of work by the state's ban because of the coronavirus. Defendants included Governor Andrew Cuomo and the state's liquor licensing authority. Exotic dancing clubs, including Starlets, Sugar Daddies, and Gallagher's 2000 in the borough of Queens, asked the courts to declare it a violation of the First and 14th Amendments to keep their clubs closed while letting other enclosed establishments open up. The lawsuit comes as the state's widening of rules for bars and restaurants have led to many open this week. It was also filed after similar clashes between establishments that let nudity or dancing in other states. In December, a judge of California let 2 strip clubs go in San Diego. A spokesperson for the governor's office said the lawsuit attempts to undermine science-based public health measures. Does it? While we are working to reopen as many facets of the economy as quickly and safely as possible, science, data, and common sense dictate that exotic dancing is not allowable at the time. Does it? Because unless they're giving lap dances, what's the difference between a casino or a live bar or whatever? As long as the girl has her mask on and whatever else needs to be covered, what's the problem? Obviously, you can't have lap dances during coronavirus. But other than that, if you have to fucking ball up your dollars or whatever and throw them at the girl across the room, so be it. Let alone the fact that many of these places, which I honestly, I don't really go to strip clubs, and I don't think I would ever eat a dinner in a strip club, but a lot of these places also serve food. So what is the difference between a bar that serves food that has a girl dancing off yonder and a bar that just serves food that doesn't have a girl dancing off yonder? The lawsuit, which seeks unspecified damages, maintains that 4 strip clubs in Queens have been ready to open with COVID-19 safety protocols since the early days of the pandemic. They pledged to require masks and temperature checks for guests and employees, to keep everyone safely apart, and to engage in frequent cleanings of all surfaces with ample supplies of disinfectant throughout the club. So what's the problem? Yet, the lawsuit said Cuomo and State have ordered restaurants and bars with exotic dancing to remain closed while permitting nightclubs, lounges, jazz dinner theaters, churches, axe-throwing venues, billiards halls, event venues for weddings, casinos, restaurants, and bars with live music, and bowling alleys that pose similar or greater risk of COVID-19 transmission to reopen. So you can do all that just as long as a girl doesn't have her titties out. I don't really get it. According to the lawsuit, at least 41 other states allow similar businesses to remain open. And again, I'm pretty sure I drive past 17 on the Bada Bings or whatever the place is called, and it seems packed all the time. And I even remember seeing tents or whatever it was outside of there and outside the other place the harem up in front of it. So, like, I guess people were going to strip clubs, like, in the winter outside, but I don't really get it. In recent weeks, Cuomo has announced that large establishments like Madison Square Garden can open and movie theaters are permitted to reopen early this month, along with businesses with recreational activities including darts, racket games, and axe throwing. Comedy clubs, nightclubs, and Broadway theaters will open in April, the lawsuits noted. So, again, our continuing theme of governments just pulling shit out of their ass. And he actually, like, whoever this guy, Stern, like, he quotes that it's obvious that they shouldn't do it and they should use common sense. Like, that doesn't even make sense, asshole. Common sense would tell you if they follow the correct guidelines, let them open. You don't know what you're talking about. It's really crazy. And that's why these New York City and that's why everything's falling apart, if you notice. Like De Blasio, and it's really funny. De Blasio thinks he's going to run for governor because he thinks people like him. Almost everyone hates De Blasio. I don't know what to tell you. I hope Andrew Yang wins for the governor of New York City. But De Blasio needs to get the fuck out of there. Cuomo needs to get the fuck out of there. And they need to open up the city and let people work again because it's ridiculous. Deucey crypto update for the day, 2:12 p.m. on March 19th. We have Bitcoin holding firm just under a 1% up for the day at 58,638. We have Ethereum up 1.45% for the day at 1820. We have Ripple down 1.3% for the day, 47 cents. And Doge up 1.24% for the day, still hanging around 6 cents. So, we have a good story here. Bitcoin price facing final resistance before 68K? Question mark. Bitcoin is very close to new all-time highs once again, but the final hurdle may take some time to overcome. Bitcoin's price has so far failed to make new all-time highs above 60,000 this week. After the breakout above 58,000, negative news from India, as well as general macroeconomic weaknesses and rebounding U.S. dollars have appeared to halted the rally. This resulted in a pullback towards 53,000 on March 16th. Such a move is normal as the bull market typically moves in waves. In other words, the market will find a new equilibrium of buyers and sellers, after which it will decide where to go next. Overall, the market has been in a significant uptrend as Bitcoin's price has accelerated from 11,000 to 60,000 in just 6 months. So this is really kind of really in-depth technical analysis kind of stuff on here. But a couple of bullish points that we're all looking at is upward continuation, then met the biggest resistance at 58.8 between 60,000. This is a final key resistance level before the next impulse wave towards 68,000 can happen. So, and that's almost exactly what's happening right now. It's like hanging right on that 58.8 region. What is it now? 58.555? Yeah, so when they talk about resistance, you generally have a price where once you that's like a bellwether. So if you stay above a certain price for a particular amount of time, they believe that it's going to continue to shoot up. But if you drop below that price, then they feel you're going to drop down to another resistance level, which could be something else, which is exactly here. The bottom support area is 54 to 55,000 and 53,000. So the top of the range is from 58.8 to 60. So we're kind of like right teetering on that resistance level right now. So hopefully, and Bitcoin goes on the weekends as well, but hopefully within the next week or two, if it continues to drop a little bit, it probably will drop in a pretty significant amount. But if it turns over that 60 and hangs over there for a little while, we'll be seeing 68 by next week, which is good because I bought some more coin today, baby. Thank you, tax breaks and Stimmy, which actually still hasn't come yet, but we're just pushing on anyway. Now, to our local news story. Apparently, this kid is Ahmed Ishmael, and he was released from Southwood State Prison, and that's his mother. So he seems to be a pretty hard ass. And in reality, that's not. It's just NorthJersey.com's terrible website. And they put videos that have nothing to do with the article on the article itself. And then they actually put the incorrect fucking caption below the video. I don't get it. On September 6, 2019, Lawrence Brock, also known as Larry, and Janine Anthony walked inside the Walmart store in Boonton. Anthony soon emerged with a $280 Samsung TV she hadn't paid for. I'm pretty sure we have a word for that. It's called theft, or she robbed the store with a, like, don't you see what these websites like NorthJersey.com and all these Lori Comstock, his name sounds really familiar. I feel like I know her, but like, she robbed a television. She didn't emerge out of the store with the TV that she hadn't paid for. Like, she committed a crime and robbed the store. From there, things went downhill for the pair. Yeah, I would think so. She just shoplifted and committed a crime. Police, alerted to the theft, arrived within minutes. Anthony put the TV in her car and drove away. But she left one key pair of evidence. Brock. She fucking left Larry there. What a bitch. He was arrested while shoplifting other items and then quickly gave up his accomplice's name, according to police. Fucking ratted her out. I mean, listen, she left him there, babe. So, no honor among thieves. Literal thieves. Literal thieves. No honor among literal thieves. By December, both were serving time in the Morris County Jail, which we'll get into why that's a little peculiar in the next couple of sentences. And there, another entry in the Chronicles of Petty Crime might have ended. Don't call it petty crime, bro. Like, they're robbing a store. But in a lawsuit filed this month, Anthony says the botched shoplifting attempt led to weeks of harassment during her time in custody. The Bud Lake woman says she was targeted for retaliation in a campaign arranged by Brock and his sister-in-law, a senior counselor at the jail social service unit where both inmates were held. So that's the portion that's a little crazy to me, that this guy Larry has a fucking family member who's like an administrator at the prison. Little odd to me. In the suit filed in State Superior Court, Anthony, 59, said she was denied medications for a psychotropic condition, as well as access to her lawyer, church services, and a court hearing. She was also threatened by corrections officers working in league with Melissa Brock, Anthony alleges in the suit, which seeks unspecified damages. Brock was doing her brother's bidding in directing the hostilities of the county agent's misdeeds, according to the complaint. The lawsuit names Morris County and the correctional facility in Morristown as defendants, along with Melissa Brock and 3 corrections officers. County spokesman Brian Murray said this week that the county had yet to be served with the complaint and therefore could not comment. The lawsuit contends that the jail violated its own procedures as well as ethical standards by putting Anthony and Lawrence Brock in a unit where his sister-in-law was supervisor. Yeah, I gotta fucking agree with you, bud. Bad move. Because you're just asking for fucking lawsuits like this. Melissa Brock has been employed at the jail since 2002, according to pension records. She's been there for 20 years, babe. And she's shit out of luck now, I'll tell you that. Like, regardless of whether the lawsuit goes through, she's losing her job. No? Anthony was sentenced to 90 days in jail and probation after the shoplifting incident. By early January 2020, she was moved to the social services unit. That's when the harassment began. Twice that month, Anthony signed up to attend a weekly church service, but she was told by officers each time that she was not on the list to go. In mid-January, she missed a scheduled appearance in the Superior Court because jail staff failed to take her, she said. As a result, she lost jail time credit and served a longer term than unnecessary, according to the complaint. Again, I don't know anything about fucking jail, but if she's in jail, you would think the fucking jail has to take her to court. How is it her responsibility? She can't leave. Later that month, Anthony said she got into a disagreement with another inmate and was told by an officer to fill out a witness statement. Anthony said she felt physically threatened when the officer, responding to a question she asked, told her, "If you don't lose your attitude, I swear I'm going," and stopped. A few days later, according to Anthony Suit, she and another inmate were speaking in an even tone when an officer berated them for being too loud. Both women were forced into a 4-hour lock-in in their cells, the suit says. Anthony alleges an officer refused to let her make her case to a shift supervisor or fill out a grievance form. She was eventually charged with insubordination and causing an unsafe condition by not following orders. She said she was removed from her jail cell by several officers and put in disciplinary detention, the jail term for solitary confinement. She also contends she was twice prevented from calling her attorney, and she was berated by a female officer for falling asleep when a nurse came around with medication, despite the officer's willingness to wake other inmates, according to the suit. Lori Comstock, she's such a geek. But I gotta be honest, like, I'm usually kind of against the fucking inmates riling up fucking lawsuits, but everything that she says in this could have been just kind of hushed up if the guy's fucking sister-in-law didn't work at the court, at the jail. Like, that's probably how most inmates get treated in jail. It's not going to be a nice situation. But since you put yourself in a legal limbo fucking situation by having that lady in a supervisor position over her family, like, I'm pretty sure my wife at her fucking school, like, can't even have someone in a supervisory position that you're a family member with. I'm even sure, as I think about it, and again, it's different, and she can't have the kids in her class that she's, like, directly related to. But, like, I even remember at the hotel, like, you couldn't have someone who was directly related to you be, like, an underling. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. She might get some dough out of this, but, again, she's a fucking serial fucking shoplifter, so we shouldn't really give this bitch too much fucking, goodwill. Anywho, our last story in our Deucey entertainment section for the day. Fortnite fans think The Rock played a character in the Zero Crisis finale. So they had a live event that was the end of their Chapter 2 Season 5 season. There had been rumors last season after, I believe, a float in the Thanksgiving Day parade or something. Like, pretty much it was The Rock. But it really looked like he was drawn in, like, Fortnite-style drawing. And somebody said that to him on Twitter, and he commented back, like, way ahead of you, wink. So people have been kind of rumbling about this Fortnite Rock rumor for a while. And then we had this scene where the character in the finale is like, big jacked, like, robot alien guy. But it's like a person, but he's in, like, a full suit. Fans think that the character called The Foundation from Fortnite's Zero Crisis finale event was played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Earlier this week, the Epic Games kicked off Chapter 2, Season 6, with a single-player mission where the player has to save reality with the help of Agent Jones and a new character called The Foundation. If you watch the video below, you'll see the Foundation in action, whose voice acting does sound similar to the superstar actor. But that's not all fans have got to go off of. The Rock recently posted a video to Instagram titled The Foundation, where he talks in a cryptic fashion referencing a big day in a certain world, which may have taken to mean the new season of Fortnite and its climactic story events. Johnson ends the video by mentioning the Foundation by name with a trademark raised eyebrow, like, see, I should have been a wrestler. I'm fucking good looking left, right? Johnson ends the video by mentioning the Foundation name, blah, 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 blah. Twitter users Code Bendy have also pointed out similarities between The Rock's tattoos and the Foundation's in-game armor, which is also kind of crazy, and he makes, like, little mentions here. And then it is kind of true. So this is the character if you're on the video version. If you're not, oh well. It is a jacked alien, so they have a picture of The Rock in a bathing suit, all jacked up, and he is fucking monstrous. He's almost, like, too big. And then they have the Fortnite character, which is super jacked, about the same size, and there is a very slight, like, kind of connection between his tattoos and the drawings on the character. So it's worth noting that Rock is promoting his energy drink Zoa at present and collaborating with Xbox to do so. He also set to play DC supervillain Black Adam, which sounds racist, in a forthcoming movie, and DC characters like Raven are part of the Season 6 Battle Pass. Back in November of 2020, responding to a thread about how a float of The Rock looked like a Fortnite skin, Dwayne The Rock Johnson replied, "Way ahead of you," with a winky face. Was he alluding to a collaboration in the works? It seems we may well find out more soon. I mean, it's almost guaranteed probably at this point that The Rock's going to get his own character. You have a bunch of like gaming characters. You had football skins. You had soccer skins. You have Neymar is actually a fucking secret battle pass skin here. So we're going to get more and more regular people as opposed to like comic characters. And again, I think they missed the boat by not having a Trump and Biden character. But that's just me. I think that would have been the most heavily sold fucking skins of all time. But it is what it is. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I will probably be on the stream tonight, Friday, 8 to 10. Got some content again. I pretty much say the same shit every time. Got some more content coming up this week. Hope to see you soon.